compound and how many miners you compound is up to the individual. And there's ways to set up ladders and deposit ideas to make sure that people can, be diversified in their portfolio. And also we have, if you want to exit your miner, if you finish, you made your 2x, or you have miners you need to get out early for whatever reason, you can. Because when people come into the system, they're allowed to create up to 20 miners from their miner cards. You can come here and put in 20, you can have up to 20 miners for each deposit. And that allows flexibility and diversification in your portfolio. So that's what we're building with TrueDeFi. And there's a lot more to this, and we have videos and stuff I've done. And at TrueDeFi.io, we have we have stuff on our Telegram page and stuff that explain a bit more. But in this, though, and because how TrueDeFi works, we have what you call the SRE, or the Strategic Reserve Engine. And what this is it's a place where a part of 40% of all the deposits that are made every day go into it from the system. And what that does is that strategic reserve engine needs to go find yield somewhere. And places like EMIT, and V.I.C, farms, and others are places that it will be depositing funds. So when we launch, we will have a very, very good working relationship with all the farms, meaning we'll be buyers of their tokens and LP depositors as well. So the volume of all these farms will start to go up based upon True2X's interaction with them. So you can see that as time goes on, every day, we have more and more deposits happening for each of these farms, increasing our positions, thus earning more yield for us, which we in turn bring right back into the True2X as yield to the depositors. So we are hoping that with the farms and everything we're building, that it'll be a very reciprocal agreement with these relationships with Keros and guys at V.I.C and everywhere else who we decide to partner with. And on top of that, we have another option that users will have. Let's say, for instance, EMIT and everybody who wants to support EMIT decides, hey, we really like EMIT. Well, we have another program called the Integration Amplifier, which allows protocols such as EMIT and V.I.C and any others to say, hey, we want to have a net buyer of our token forever. Well, all they have to do is get their users to come together and decide, hey, we need y'all to use True2X, make your deposits, and pick, EMIT, for instance, as a recipient of the bonus rewards for the partner ID. And those who do it. And what happens is those bonus rewards are collected, and they're auto compounded at a rate of 75% forever. And that 25% that's left will buy and burn or buy and distribute EMIT in perpetuity. So now EMIT has a perpetual buyer for his system without having to worry about anything else. And it gets bigger and bigger over time. And so the more deposits the people who support EMIT make and more participation they have, they get their double. They double their tokens. They get a 5% bonus themselves. And EMIT gets the other side of the bonus as a perpetual buy forever.
So quick question. Is that done just through referral links? So if you used referral to deposit your pulse and it was an EMIT referral, is that how it's deciding which?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
You put in right here. It says referral ID. If you go to enter lobby and there's an ID number here, there's a place you would put it. So whatever EMIT's ID number would be, you would do it, or there would be a link. People could choose either way. We're working on the technicals right now, but the ID is how you would do it. And then EMIT would have its own quote unquote card. EMIT would have basically its own wallet within the True2X system that just automatically does all this. It would just be a system owned thing, but every bit of yield is associated to EMIT, and EMIT purchases forever. So it's all automated. We have within the smart contracts. So these are things that we're developing for protocols to partner up and use these things, because it's basically free buyers for them. Cost of protocol nothing. Their users get a benefit by doubling their tokens plus a bonus, and then if you get enough of them, they can build an army of miners that really go out and buy these tokens off the market forever. And for the first 45 days, the bonus is 10%, and after that, it'll be kicked back down to 5%. You muted, Sammy.
Sorry. The length of each of these miners is it roughly 30 days, or does it depend on how
we can't guarantee the length. in an auction house system, what happens is the first couple of weeks is the fastest time you can ROI. We have capped the amount of money you can earn is at a 2x. You can't earn any more than 2x per deposit. So that means if you get in early, once you get your 2x, you're done. You're not earning any more. You're out. You don't take it. You don't take any part of the system. You're done. You're finished. So it means people in early, they can't hog all the yield, which is important thing. So they're out, and so you have to come back in again if they want to participate, and they're welcome to. They can't earn any more than 2x per deposit. And so this allows everybody to participate, and these 2x's will happen at the first relatively quickly, and then they will extend over time, which is the nature of these systems, which we anticipate. We've designed a system to absorb that probably time. And because the SRE does what it does and gets bigger every day by 14% of each day's deposits, its contribution to the mining pool that allows people to earn their yield gets bigger every day as well. So eventually you'll have a point in time where the SRE's deposits will exceed the amount of retail user interaction. And that means everybody's 2x time will be shorter and shorter, which makes it where you may 2x double your token count maybe 4 times in 1 year, which is pretty good if you think about it.
And so I've just shared that. That's your official Telegram there. If people want to find out more information, your website. Have you got a website yet?
Yeah, truedefi.io. You can go there.
If you can drop that in the chat for us, that'd be great. We can show that one up on screen as well. So we're trying to show all the protocols websites so people don't go to the wrong place. If you're late to the stream, we just covered our first segment on emit.farm. This is True 2X, and this is a way to double your pulse in testing at the moment. And do you want to quickly tell everyone who the team are, the developers?
Yes, sure. It's myself, and Token Rider, or Daniel, as he's known in the community, and Executioner as well. And then we have our dev, who's anonymous, who's been working in the background. And so we're the team founders of True DeFi, and we are doing we're building this from scratch. This is not a fork of anything. It's inspired by some auction house models in the past, but the code's all new. And we've had two external audits and countless internal audits through trusted sources as we've developed this. So now we're in mainnet, and we're going to have a public test on mainnet here in about 2 days or 3 days, whenever time cycle hits, for people to participate. And so we passed all our normal checks and stuff. And so we're excited. We're ready to bring this to market, and we will hope people can see the benefit of using tools like this, because it will, being what True DeFi is, it will complement all the farms we participate with as a depositor of yield assets. So I anticipate us, owning large portions of EMIT tokens and Vox tokens and hype increase and stuff like that. And maybe we'll participate in Ronify and maybe Nexion, whoever else has got anything of quality that we can earn yield from.
Nice. Has anyone got any questions?
Anything else?
Oh, sorry. Has anyone got any questions for Neil in the panel here or in the on YouTube? Well, there you are. Thanks for that, Neil. Really appreciate it, and obviously keep us up to date on that. And obviously, people can follow you guys on X as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. With True DeFi has an X account, or you can follow me. I'm on X as well. So just hit me up. Deal for T-shares. Have a YouTube channel.
I forget you sometimes get some of these Pulsicans that aren't on Telegram. They're only on X. I forget that sometimes.
Yep. And I've been dropping videos the last couple of days on True DeFi as well on my YouTube. So Deal for T-shares, you can search on YouTube and you can find the videos at Work for Crypto.
Nice. I mean, would you count this as farming? This is more mining, right? Or
this is mining, yes. This is mining. This is a no impermanent loss mining. So you deposit your pulse, you go through the system, you mine your pulse, you get double back, basically. That's how it works. Yeah. And so there's ways to use it to with compounding, get a little bit faster than some people. You can utilize it to set a ladder. Long-term, mid-term, and short-term price points and accumulation, because the whole premise is you're doubling your tokens over and over again. So you can 2x, 4x, 8x, 16x, 32x, 64x, etc. Right? And so if you stay in long enough, as you use this thing, it's designed to be a multi-cycle token accumulation tool. Now, if you're at a 128x in the future, and we're at say 3 cents a pulse token, where do you think you're going to be dollar wise? Right? That's the idea. And that's what we're trying to bring to market, something different, so where people aren't going to be worried about, oh, I need to buy this other thing to earn yield. No, with this, you hold your cores, you deposit your cores, you get your cores back times 2, plus any bonuses you get through referrals.
Nice. I'm not sure if we got DeFi Nation. He seems to have dropped off. But if anyone from the Vox team wants to jump on, obviously, please do just jump on if you want to be covered. Otherwise, we'll probably do one of these again soon in the future. So if anyone else has any farming protocols that we haven't mentioned today, or they know about, or mining protocols that are interesting on a Pulse chain, please get in touch.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone that wants to jump into the EMIT Telegram, I think EMIT is still pretty. What did we launch? Like it was only 4 or 5 months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that today. It's still pretty early as far as projects go. And like right now, I think we have 145,000 circulating tokens. So like we were just talking about, when you get into like these farming protocols, and really to see the most benefit, like the people that have seen the most benefit are the people that get in at the start and have been farming all the way through, obviously. But I think as far as farming protocols go, I think we're still pretty well close to the start of this thing. I know that I just say it because I know that's a reason. Like some people will find a project and they go, oh, well, I wasn't here right at the start. So is it really still worth it to get into it? And kind of when I was building this thing, that was kind of one of the things that I had in mind. And I think it still is. So yeah, anyone that's watching that isn't farming
7
really
months. 7 months
Has it
EMIT's been going for. Yeah, and as I say, I wouldn't really consider yourself being late, because as I say, this is a sideways kind of chart pretty much. I mean, it's had some really awesome pumps. We had some really awesome pumps, but you're not really late because the train hasn't left the station. I think when Pulse goes, when Pulse chain starts ripping, that's when you and you join late. That's when you could say you might have missed the train leaving the station, but by no means, by any means, are you late at this point. Obviously, just be aware that all farming does incur risk of impermanent loss. So just educate yourself about that. Should we try and give DeFi Nation another try, see if his microphone's working? How you doing, DeFi?
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Okay, I'm gonna try to sit in one spot because as soon as I got up and walked, I lost my connection before.
Yeah. Okay. And tell everyone a little bit about yourself and maybe your farming experience or whatever you want to talk about, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I know all you guys. We've worked a lot together. Sammy, I've known for a while from Pulse Bitcoin community that I got involved with for a few years now. Karos, same with getting involved with his first protocol, IMPLS, a really good auto compounder on Pulse chain, and with EMIT. And then so I've been farming on Pulse chain basically since it launched, and actually before that, probably since like 2020, 2021 or so, I was like kind of farming on like other chains like V.I.C and AVAX and different places before the opportunities on Pulse chain came along. Now I'm pretty much like strictly only farming on Pulse chain because I just more familiar with the chain and the yield opportunities, and I don't really see these kind of opportunities on other chains like there used to be last cycle. So yeah, when I started farming on Pulse chain, I got into like the Pulse X farms, the core pairs, and then like with like the 9-inch farms. Those were actually really good when those came out. They had a lot of really good pairs with like the solid index tokens. Those opportunities aren't really there anymore. They limited their farm pairs quite a bit. So I started kind of exploring new places to farm. Kind of helped with the launch with Karos with EMIT, and with Sammy got involved and kind of like building up a community over there, and just kind of like getting people aware of those farming opportunities. Started doing the same thing with the team at V.I.C Finance. Started farming there like 6 or 7 months ago. So yeah, I'm pretty much in both EMIT and V.I.C farms pretty primarily right now. I mean, I'm farming on other farms as well on Pulse Chain, like the Hocus Pocus Homie farms from Randy's DAP farms, and some others, just smaller ones. But these are kind of like my primary like protocols that I'm using right now, and kind of, since I like to like kind of talk about the things that I use, things that I kind of can put some just get interest from. So yeah, that's pretty basically it though. I mean, I think both are very profitable for users. You have more like farm pair options on Emit. There's like a lot of different categories for different protocols, different collabs, and more exotic pairs. And then with Vox is kind of focused more on just the RH assets, the core pairs with the typical PLSX, hex, INC.
And you got the single-sided, right, for PLS, single-sided for PLSX, and single-sided for hex as well. No, not hex, is it? I can't remember now.
It's single side pools for PLS, PLSX, and INC, and then I think hex will probably be coming since the Hexamo farms just launched a few weeks ago or so. But with like those, like with hype, which yields you PLSX reflection rewards, increase yields you INC, and then Hexamo earns you hex reflection rewards. This kind of gives you a reason to hold on to the tokens. Like, so for instance, I've already earned probably like 30,000 hex in reflection rewards just from holding Hexamo. Since I think it's been like 2 weeks or however since the launch. I mean, so if that kind of continues at that pace, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of monthly hex rewards. It's a lot more than the T shares that I had from my hex stakes. Like I had a couple million hex staked in a rolling stake.
Sorry, do you want to quickly explain Hexamo? Hexamo is the latest farm on the Pulse Chain. So you've got Vox, you've got Hype, you've got Increase, and then this is the final one, Hexamo. So this one is hex focused, right?
Yeah. So with like, besides like the Vox is kind of like that's the first farm protocol, and that's not a tax token. That's that doesn't have any reflection rewards on it. It's just like their kind of like flagship token that gets bought and burnt by every other token in their ecosystem. So like the hype farms, which they buy and burn hype token, PLSX, and Vox, and then the increase farms buy and burn increase, INC, and Vox, and then the Hexamo farms buy and burn hex, the Hexamo token, and Vox. So Vox is just getting constantly bought and burned. And the other three farms, Hyperion, which is the hype token, increase, and Hexamo, are tax tokens that you're farming, and they have reflection rewards. So hype token you farm, and then you have it sit in your wallet, and it earns you PLSX reflection rewards directly to your wallet without having to like, stake or claim or anything. It just goes directly to your wallet. I've already earned like tens of millions of PLSX just from having the hype sit there. Increase earns you INC reflection rewards directly to your wallet, and Hexamo earns you hex directly to your wallet. Like I said, I've already earned like 30,000 hex in like a few weeks, a lot more than the T shares that I had on a couple million hex staked for like 3 or 4 months earned me over that whole duration, in a much shorter time frame, in a much lesser dollar amount that I had to keep in my wallet of the Hexamo token to get that much hex. So, I mean, all 4 tokens are very like early, I would consider, as far as the market caps. I think they're ranging anywhere from like $10,000 to $30,000 market caps. So they are micro caps. So I mean, I think when we see our Pulse Chain kind of alt season or bull run for Pulse Chain, whatever you want to call it, I think like low cap tokens like these, EMIT is still pretty low cap. I think that's only like 100,000. What is it, Karos? About 100,000 market cap.
Market cap for EMIT is what? It's $250,000, isn't it? Something like that. Or a million
It's like
now.
173,000 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I forget how
Okay.
tiny that is.
Yeah, I
mean,
remember. I remember
crazy,
last time I was
right?
looking at it, was like around 120, 130. But yeah, I think we're a little higher in price now.
It just shows you, right, how much these tokens can go up when they get adopted by the crowds. It's like that is tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for instance, Sammy, do you remember like Pulse Dogecoin got to I think like a $30 million market cap? And
what you mean the one that was on ETH? Yeah,
on ETH. Yeah, I mean, imagine seeing EMIT or any one of these three tokens that are about 10 times smaller market caps as EMIT, like reaching that kind of like 20 million, 30 million market cap, when we have like Pulse Chain really exploding,
yeah.
pumping,
I mean,
with
because I guess when Pulse Chain starts to pump, obviously everyone's token value is going to go up through Hart's Law, which Vets was talking about. But then also you're probably going to get a lot more people coming on chain, right? And especially people who are DeFi, they're going to want to see these farming opportunities, and it's nice that we got them all built over here, isn't it? And
yeah, I mean, once you
explode.
see some green candles and you see the cores pumping, that usually drags up in price most of the tokens that are paired with them with good liquidity. And then that'll also increase the APRs on all these farms. So then people will discover, oh, like I can earn, 300, 400, 500% on these farms, or a few 100% on those. So it just kind of like then leads to more buying of the core tokens that are paired. That you have to like get the token to get into most of the farms. Like with EMIT, you have to you don't have to have EMIT on every single farm, but like the better yields, you'll notice are on the EMIT core pairs. If you're in like EMIT PLS, EMIT PLSX, EMIT INC, and then even with the non like core tokens, EMIT, like PLSB, EMIT, IMPLS, those have much higher APRs than the ones that are like, just two non.
Because you're contributing to the ecosystem more.
Yeah, exactly. And then with Vox's focus, it's been to keep the APRs high by not having a like large amount of farms, like not like over diluting, by keeping it. I think there's about maybe 10 or less farms on each of the protocols. So that kind of like keeps these APRs like 300, 400% APR range. And like Hexamo is still pretty new. I think there's still like a few thousand%, 1,000 to maybe like 2,000% APR is the average on those. If you have like Hex, you can pair with that, and then you can earn Hex from earning the Hexamo token just sitting in your wallet. So I think that the focus there is just to farm with your RH core tokens and not really have like exotic pairs and a lot of other third-party tokens. So I mean, I think both are very like valuable in different ways. Like if you like, there's a lot of tokens that I do have that are not RH cores, like SolidX and the Pulse Bitcoin ecosystem, and different things that I want to pair with something. So that's where I go to EMIT and I find a farm that has the option. I can either use the EMIT that I am earning in the farms that I already have. Like my strategy on EMIT is I have about half my EMIT staked in the single side pool and half in the farms.
Which is earning you E-DAI.
Yeah. So I'm earning
from
E-DAI.
So stable token you're getting with a single side staking, right? On EMIT.
Yeah. So I mean, I at one point had close to 10% of that pool share rate, and then I've gotten it diluted a little bit. I think because Sammy, you've been coming in like getting bigger positions in that single side.
Yeah,
pool.
I've been accumulating the EMIT a lot over the last few months. I just see this one as a real golden ticket.
Yeah. So I've noticed like with the amount of DAI that I have accumulate daily, or every so often, where I look like how much is accumulated compared to the amount of EMIT that I have, and I'm about half in both. I've kind of kept it kind of like ratioed pretty well. I am earning a lot more like dollar value from the LPs, from the actual farms, like with the
Yeah.
EMIT token. And then I usually take a good portion of that EMIT I'm earning and just throw it right back in the single side pool, which kind of keeps me like from getting diluted too much from new entrants. And then sometimes I'll take, you know, some profits off the top if we're at like a decent price range, rather than if we're like, you know, on the lower end. But and then yeah, I mean that's been, you know, doing pretty well. EMIT's been really like stable as far as price of the token. It's been really between that $1.30 range for a while now. I think both these protocols and Neil's protocol and the other ones that we always, you know, collab with, and Function Island and you know, some of the other ones next year, I think they're all going to do well when Pulse Chain finally, like, you know, does something, because it's really just been, you know, it has like these little pumps like every few months, and then it just has like months of just kind of like getting sold back down. So we had some really good runs on, I mean, on all these tokens. I mean, EMIT pumped from like 50 cents to like, I think like $2.50. That was like a 4x. That was a few months back when we had some new collabs come on, some new farms. People were buying EMIT to get into those farms. Then we had some good pumps on Vox and
I guess
Hype
that, and I guess
increase.
the other side of it is, as you say, like one of the, you know, a new community coming in, and let's say they've got some tokens and they haven't got a way, they want to encourage their users to hold. Maybe it's a meme token, you know, maybe it's kind of, you haven't managed to close the loop on one of your internal systems of one of the coins you have, and you think, okay, well, I want people to hold this. Oh, look, I've got a plug in and play here, a yield opportunity with EMIT, you know. So it's worked well for us at Pulse Bitcoin. It's helped people have a reason to hold their tokens.
Yep. I'd like to share y'all something about what Ben said about yields and stuff. Share my screen with you, Sammy. I'll put in. All right, this is DeFi Llama, and this is showing some of the top protocols and their APYs that you can get. And I want you to notice something. There's not a whole lot there. It's all below 5%. You have 10% here. You can get maybe you going down. There's a 15 or 20 if you going down a ways. There's not a whole lot of APY yield and available. And all these big protocols with all these billions of dollars of liquidity, millions of liquidity, they're not paying anything. Here's one or two for 40, 39, 36, you know, but they're few and far between. Here's a V3 position. That's just, you know, it's V3 yield. So, but with EMIT, you get 100% APY on single side staking. I mean, it's Pulse Chain's got some of the best yields you can get in DeFi, and you get paid in DAI. I mean, compared to all this other stuff, you have to lock up and wait longer and longer to get your yields. Well, look at EMIT, what Carrio's done with it. And look at some of these farms on Vox with all the stuff, the 2,000% APR on some of the stuff in Hexamill right now, and stuff in the past with Increase and Hype. I mean, there's no doubt we've done so much better than most anything else out there on any of the blockchain, besides like hype coins.
Well, I think it's just early right now too. Like if we had some green candles and a big influx of TVL, I think that'll bring APRs down. But I think where, you know, just where we're at first cycle on Pulse, like I think it's just early. If Pulse, like Ben said, had some green candles, and that, you know, that always brings people over. And it's weird right now on Pulse because I feel like we have a lot more users that have kind of just drifted off, but would come back, you know, if like things started to do well. But I think it's just been so long that they've kind of drifted away. So I think there's even like an existing audience that is just waiting for a reason to come back and be more active as well. And I think that's just a matter of us, you know, being a first cycle blockchain and just kind of finding its bottom. But, you know, when it does head that other way, I think it'll happen quick.
Quick question, guys. I've been thinking about this a while. I know we've kind of briefly discussed it in some of the X spaces we've had and all that. How do you see, let's say, how do you see farming changing on Pulse Chain? Let's say when we get into the next bear market, let's say alt season's over. Would you see much changing? What changes do you see?
Like if we had bull season or if it was just over
Yeah,
right
let's say
now.
bull season's over, and now we're entering into 6-month bear market, aggressive bear market, or something like that. Do you see the farm makeups being different? Do you see people's behaviors changing?
Well, I automatically kind of referenced the last cycle I was in. And the last cycle, it was kind of a lot like this. I was primarily on Avalanche at the time, and it was pretty much exactly the same. I was playing in the farming protocols, and the auto compounding protocols, and then all of a sudden we had that, parabolic bull run pretty much where everything did like a 4x. And like I remember distinctly, like one of the farmer protocols I was in, it was about where we are. It was like a 200,000 market cap, and then it went to like, I think at the height it was like 5 million market cap. But wow, it was awesome, really. So everything runs up like that, and then you get like the euphoric stage. And I think it was kind of like that for like 5 or 6 months. And then we had the big drop and everything went way back down. Bitcoin went all the way down to like 16,000. And honestly, like probably 60-70% of those protocols are just gone now. Some did pull through, and remain and have their community. And a lot of them kind of branch off into separate projects. So, I guess it depends what the bull season looks like. Like as far as looking at EMIT, like I don't think the way that I've designed it right now, going up or down, it's going to do what it was designed to do. So whether we go down or up, either direction is going to fund that single-sided, and those people are going to have more reason to hold whichever direction we go. So there's never really, unless you're looking to exit for like you need money, then it makes more sense to hold that investment. So I think the way that that's designed, that either way the market goes, it will perform, obviously better if the market's green and we have more users coming online. But I think in a bear market, it would just be like bear markets get. It shakes people out. You get down to just a few like real believers left. You get down to just a handful of people. I mean, you get down to just yourself. That's when it's scary. But I think as far as EMIT goes, if it's if that was it, that was our bull market, we go into a bear market right now, I think we'll be fine. We'll ride it out, and as long as we have users, it'll be alive.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
I'm more leaning towards where we're at the bottom now, and if anything, we walk sideways until we get some up action for sure, though.
Yeah, that definitely. What'll help too is as we partner with EMIT and stuff, we'll be bringing more daily deposits coming in, and so that'll change up the yield for the single sided because there's be more volume. So I think when we launch, you'll see that how EMIT changes from pre True 2X interaction post. I think we'll see we'll all of us be happy we're in EMIT right now because we're like, oh wow, it's more volume, more yield. It's great. Now I have even more incentive to hold my tokens because I get this DAI paid every day. I think that's going to be a big kicker. Even if we go through and chop sideways a while, it'll still be more deposits than are now. And so that's what we all want. We want volume. That's what all the farms need is volume to keep all their systems working. That's the biggest kicker in everything in Pulse Chain. Without volume, you're pretty much dead. Hardly any protocol can sit and exist without volume. And so, that's what we do. We bring volume by nature. We have ways to generate volume, even internally, through our systems. So, because even if nobody participates, we still keep rolling, regardless of any new users coming in.
I think that's the uniqueness about True DeFi coming up here. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. What is it? The AI for the community?
The IA, the integration amplifier.
Yeah. If you wanted to briefly touch on that, what that may do for different communities in the future, and then also to your last point, just that you guys have other revenue streams to help sustain this, right? Like it's not like anything typical where an internal protocol is trying to generate its own revenue and be creative and this and that. Like you got some other flywheels to help everything extend out into the future and beyond.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So the three flywheels basically, I mean, besides normal people coming in, But if those people didn't exist, we have the which is called 1x rotation wallets, which means these are internal wallets owned by the protocol that they instead of going getting a 2x, they only get a 1.1x or 1.01, whatever math works out on the day end, on the cycle ending, and they get out of the system. So what that means is they deposit, but they never take their yield, and so they start over. That means the overall average liabilities that the system has in yield is down by their contribution. And the second is the IA itself. So the more and more protocols that want to join us, the more there's going to be auto compounding forever. And that auto compounding is volume. That's what it does. And then the third flywheel is the SRE, or the strategic reserve agent, that's always bringing outside yield from all these different farms and all these different places that yield can be earned back into the protocol as deposits. And so it acts as the third part of the flywheel. So together, they all work in unison at different levels. And if one is weaker than the other kind of picks up the slack. So that you end up with a constant, steady, slowly growing internal volume that gets bigger and bigger over time, slowly and slowly and slowly, mathematically. So this is what makes us unique. And so as we contribute every day, and money goes to the SRE, then it's distributed to like the farms and stuff like EMIT, and it's going to get its yield from EMIT and from other farms and come back into its own system. It'll be back and forth. So it would behoove like protocols like farms and stuff to get their community rally behind True2X, to use the integration amplifier links that we're going to provide for the partners to help boost the amount of buying that the integration amplifier will do to the protocol. So even in, say, a year from now, 2 years from now, the protocols who take part in it will have 2 years of growth. How many times can they double that back? It'll be several. They could have a massive amount of impact in the future on the next, say, 2 bears from now. All of a sudden, they have this buyer that comes in and buys all the time, but their competitor doesn't. Where do you think they'll be in the market? They're going to have buyers that they don't cost them anything to use. They just buy us forever. And that's a big deal when you're trying to create volume and trying to create a sustainable system. So even if somebody wants to pump tires and build a meme coin, they could then tap into the integration amplifier's tools, use them as a utility module or give cash flow back to that system. And so their meme coin now has a buyer forever. So there you go. That's just one aspect. But any protocol can do it. And we'll offer, all the big, reputable protocols will have links we'll provide that they can, their users can use. They don't need any permission from the founder. It don't cost the protocol don't cost them any money. It's
so
just
community members can do this on their own.
Correct.
Take the lead, take the initiative.
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, because it's just a link. You should use it, and everybody uses it. They get their double. They double their tokens. They get a 5% bonus, and they support then whatever protocol that's their favorite, or multiple protocols if they have set their separate wallets. I'm gonna use EMIT for one. I'm gonna use Hype for another one, or whatever. I know like Pulse Bitcoin, they would love to have something that buys and burns Pulse Bitcoin forever, and that's what they need. And so the Pulse Bitcoin community could rally around, and there's guys who make their deposits. They get their doubles. They can buy some Pulse Bitcoin, and they got now the Pulse Bitcoin being bought and burned off the market forever. So these are just tools.
No, they're amazing tools. And just thinking about the whole Pulse Chain ecosystem, like if you're an outsider watching this for the first time, this is like Ethereum when it was in a few months, a year in, what have you. Like this is that ground level thing to get in, and that thing that everybody wishes they had 30-cent Bitcoin back in the day, 13 years ago. Like this is that thing. And with all the builders on this chain, creating awesome protocols like True DeFi, 2X, and others like LPX and whatnot, like there's going to be multiple cogs and flywheels that are going to, regardless of whether or not the founder RH pumps liquidity into this chain or not, these builders are taking the lead to create Pulse Chain and lift it up on its own merits with or without any additional outside help. It may take a little longer, but it's going to get there and it's going to happen. I've never been more bullish.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, I'm excited, and and the funny thing is, what we're building over here is we're not building it and then just stopping. This is the first of many. We're building a whole entire ecosystem, and this is the foundational tool, the True2X tools. And once we're done with the Pulse tool, we'll build a tool that doubles your PulseX, that doubles your hex, and maybe double your ink, doubles your wrapped ETH, doubles your BNB, maybe double your Solana. And most of that will happen on this chain because of the architecture and design of the chain, and probably a lot of the yield, because it's hard to get yield everywhere. I mean, it's not, you go to Solana, there's no place to earn yield. It's just all me.
That's something we spoke about a lot. We've kind of floated the idea, which I imagine will happen in the future, is getting users on, is advertising to users to bridge some of their tokens that they love that aren't on this chain, and farm with them over here. I think that's a great idea to grow Pulse chain.
And we plan on doing that, because we're going to be we're agnostic tool. Since we're on a token, we're not trying to compete with anybody. Just use the tool. And so if we can double your wrapped ETH, double your Solana, double your BNB or whatever, it'll be here. And you can bridge over. And they have some interoperability tools that are coming on market now that allows people to, by staying on their chain, utilize the DApps on our chain. And that's working right now as we speak. So we'll work through that on a technical level in the future. But in the short term, it's the RH core tokens we're going to concentrate on to grow. And then we'll have other products we're going to bring to the market pretty quickly after we launch True2X that will help round out the ecosystem in a way that will be all the cogs and flywheels that will basically make it a perpetual yield machine. And no matter where you enter in the system, you will benefit any other part of the system, and you'll still earn in whatever way you like.
Like true passive income. Just
exactly
100%.
100%.
If that doesn't excite people, passive income while you're sleeping, I don't know what does. And then too, let's not forget, man, people have whenever the snapshot was taken, whatever was in your wallet, I forget the date, is over here. So if you're watching and you're not inside the Pulse Chain ecosystem, learn how to get over here and check your wallets, because you will have those tokens sitting over here. And then when this protocol, for example, launches, you throw that in something or convert it over to Pulse and then throw it in here and 2x your bag. Like there's a lot of options.
Neil, will you make it where like user like generate where any user can basically add like a new token to have a miner? So like if Keros wants to do like a EMIT or IMPLS miner, or like Pulse Bitcoin miner or Vox miner, like a community member can just like launch that, kind of like how the
not that. No, that didn't work that way. This is a pretty sophisticated bit of software, and there's a reason why the cores work, is because of liquidity and how the yield is generated. So there's got to be enough liquidity in the systems that we won't hurt the price in our moving around. So that's kind of the trick about it. So maybe as things improve in the future, those options could be available. It'd be dependent upon liquidity of the token and our time, because we have to basically engineer the system to fit the token, and then turn it over. And in our community, now you can double your EMIT tokens. Okay, well that would be something that would take a lot of money and liquidity for that to work out, because you have to then take the tokens off the market, then you got to go buy the token somewhere, and then put them back in, and then. So what's happening in that system is no liquidity for that. Are you going to mess the price up too bad? Are you going to drain all liquidity pools and stuff like that? So there's something to consider on that. We looked at different tokens. It takes a lot of liquidity for this to work, what we built. So that's kind of where we're at. Maybe at the end of this bull, and if everybody just does gangbusters and gets a lot of liquidity locked up, then maybe it's possible. But it'll just take a little time. So it's something that mathematically just doesn't lend itself to smaller cap tokens.
Nice. And so if anyone wants to come on next week and talk about their farming protocol, let us know. Obviously, you can go through the comments there. All the stuff we've spoken about tonight, you've got all the official links there. Anything else anyone wants to say before we call it?
Yeah, I'll just call out my protocol. It's not a protocol. It's just a straight ERC PRC20 on Pulse Chain, VETS, VETS. We have farm as well on the EMIT. And that's just the straight token. The overall goal is to raise awareness of all the military veterans and first responders in the crypto in general and around the world. There's a lot of them out there. So just highlighting that aspect. That's my niche in the crypto space.
And what's
here.
the website for that?
So you go vicfoundation.com. I'll pull it up, post it here for you. I'm also in the midst of a fee token where it will help support those charities. So ultimately, we want to raise funds in a decentralized manner as possible, and then providing a DAO to be able to vote for which charity or a grant, if you will, depending on the use case. There's many options to it. So this has been a work in progress, vicfoundation.com. So literally, it's a 501c3 legitimate organization. So we can, for those that would like one, write a receipt for tax purposes. You can make a crypto donation that takes you to Coinbase Commerce on that aspect of it. Setting up the regular fiat credit card donation side. So hopefully, not hopefully, a lot of people are going to have problems where they need to deal with the gains that they received, right? Hopefully here in a few months, so to speak, maybe. Not financial advice. We're just a bunch of people on the internet here having a conversation educational wise. But, it's everyone's building their different tools to help utilize and give people different avenues and tools to operate with. So it's what makes Pulse Chain unique. Pulse Chain is true decentralized finance. DeFi gets tossed around very loosely everywhere, as we see and know. But here, this is, and when you come over, you'll experience the decentralized nature of the DEX, the PulseX, right? I think we covered that. That's burning on every transaction as well. So it's now is that time to pick up a bag and maybe start doing your own research on what Pulse Chain is and some of the core. Just start with the core blue chips that are out there on Pulse Chain.
And you've never had such a great opportunity on price as well with these core tokens. Obviously, Pulse is your version of Ethereum, right? That is, I'd say, it's pretty much its lowest. But not financial advice. I think timing the market is very good timing right now. I think you could potentially see a breakout against ETH in the next few weeks. So it's an exciting time for Pulse Chain. And I've got to say, farming for me is quite fun, to be honest with you. It keeps me engaged. I find a lot of these protocols where you have to kind of go back once a week and integrate with them. They tend to have better lasting communities, rather than something you set and forget and walk away for a year. EMIT, there's so much going on there. You're constantly, or Vox, you're constantly coming and checking, how much you're earning. Some people have got spreadsheets and they're working out and doing all the fancy stuff, they're strategizing on the best way to do it. So yeah, it's definitely fun if you like making money. And it also helps you pass the time when charts are going sideways. At least you're kind of earning, and then buy more of the tokens you like. So I would recommend it to everyone personally. And
the Hocus Pocus farming wizard's really cool for that.
Oh
too,
yeah, I should drop that as a link.
Yeah, if you're in like 3 or 4, different farm protocols, you see all your yield right there added up, and you can claim it right, on one dApp.
Just trying to get the official website here for that, because that's a really good one. If you are in, as DeFi says, a lot of farms, and you just want a quick dashboard to see what's going on. They've also got some really nice stats there as well on the Hocus Pocus app.
I like how it gives you like a breakdown of like you can see daily, weekly, monthly, like exactly dollar amount of each farm you're in or each protocol you're in, of how much you're earning in the token based on the price. So you don't have to like calculate them all separately. It just adds it up for you.
Yeah. And it's got some really cool stats there as well, hasn't it? You can put it in all different sorts of ways, your APRs, your percentage, your TVLs. It shows you your reward daily from the whole website. It'll show you how much you're earning from each place, each farm. It really helps you strategize. And also, you can claim all your rewards one button click rather than having to go and do them all manually. Although I don't really like doing that because you end up if your wallet gets stuck, it can be a bit of a pain.
You still have to sign like every transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Claiming from like 15 farms, you still have to do it. Like
Yeah.
You don't have to like initiate every single one like separately. But yeah, I do them on the original dApps, not on there really.
It's a tool, right? Like it's a
yeah. We've got some awesome tools on this chain. Now, I just wanted to ask everyone around the room. Let's start with Neil, then go to Kairos, DeFi, then Vets. Have you got anything upcoming this week you want to let people know about?
Other than our public testing starts in about a day or two, that's happened this week for us. So we'll be moving forward with it, and then get it ready for launch on our side. I know Tetra's right on the corner as well and Signum, so it's going to be all probably coming out near about the same time. Unfortunately for me and my copious amounts of free time to do all these videos, but anyway, it's all getting all finished up. I mean, Tetra's finished; it's just a matter of getting it out the door. Signum as well, just some odds and ends going to be handled with it. So yeah, it's going to be a busy time this next month for me and the guys at True DeFi and Tetra. We're looking forward to partnering up with Kairos and the rest of the farms and supporting them with the SRE funds. And I'm excited. I really am, and we're ready to use our own product as our founders and developers because we're excited about it as well. We've seen the math, we've seen the 2X's come in our internal testing. So it's let's go, baby.
Yeah, nice one, man. So that sounds exciting. You got Tetra as well coming out soon, which we're all looking forward to. Good to hear. Kairos, what's your week looking like?
So this week we're still in the middle of airdropping the $1,000 of the PLSS token from Paulskin Store. So that's still going out in the community chat there. And I think we're also going to do another collaboration giveaway and give away some EMIT t-shirts later on this week. So you can kind of keep an eye out for that. I think it'll be on X, but obviously I'll post it in the Telegram and everything. And also on the Impulse protocol, I am adding up. I'm going to add the last two Hexamo vaults for the box farms over there, and I think also a few more of their other farm vaults. So if you're not tuned in over on that, you can join the Telegram. It's IMPLS Finance or IMPLS.finance. And that's an auto compounder for these farm protocols. I have some of the EMIT farms on there. And the Vox farms, and we still have the PulseX farms on there, but the APYs are pretty low on those. I think it's down around 1%. So, but so that'll be this week.
Nice. DeFi Nation, you got anything going on this week, crypto related?
Yeah, so I've been speaking with Kairos about adding some of those auto compound vaults on IMPLS for some of the the other farms, Hexamo, some for hype, something for increase, just to give the option if people want to kind of auto compound without having to do it manually. Of course, then you lose out on the reflection rewards of getting those Hex or PLSX reflection rewards if you just claim the token to your wallet. But it is good for minimizing impairment loss, which has kind of helped me with when there's been downtrends on the tokens. And then, also Sammy and I have been kind of talking with the founder of Vox. He's kind of made some recent decisions to kind of focus more on the RH core assets rather than third-party token pools. And there's been a couple farms that have been decommissioned just in the last week, in the last few days, that have kind of led to the holders that had LP in there kind of sell off because they had their LPs in there in the pools, and then with those no longer available, rather than switch to the RH core token pools, they seem to just kind of sell off some of their positions. So there has been kind of a good dip, good buying opportunity, I think, if Pulse Chain is going to start pumping any day now. So you might want to check out, and see about getting some positions. I think right now is the best time to get positions in any of these farms. So if you can get where you get your monthly yield up to let's say a few $1,000s spread out between these protocols, and then when Pulse Chain starts to rip after its first 10x or 20x, if we see that across all of these these, farms and tokens, just imagine like 10xing, 20xing, the amount that you're earning today, in upcoming here, which would be amazing for a lot of people. So you just have to like plant your seeds now at these like really low prices and get positions and don't get left behind.
Nice, exciting. Vets, how about you?
Yeah, bang bang. You're still, believe it or not, in an accumulation phase. So it's still a good time to pick stuff up, pack your bags if you haven't, if you're a little behind the curve. If you want a bunch of X's, I think this is the place to be. If you want a few X's, and everyone's age is different, right? So if you're older, maybe you want the staples of Ethereum and Bitcoin and get 2, 10x, what have you. But if you want a lot of X's, like, I think this is the place to be. A lot of us have staked many years over here, grinding and put, so we believe in it, right? So Go Real DeFi by one of our great community members, RH Max, has developed this trusted one-stop shop of community website here. So they're trusted links. If you go to gorealdefi.com, any of those links in there are trusted, verified. Feel free to use those as you explore around there. So you can find me on Vets Crypto on X. Start the foundation. So please come out to the foundation website. Vic, what is that? Nonprofit. Vic Nonprofit.
I'll try and share it 1 second.
Yeah, on X, and then on Telegram, got a group going there. Vets in Crypto on Telegram. Again, just it's our niche of first responders and military veterans alike, just sharing content and just chopping it up and having a good time. So it's been great, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well, I'll be doing a deep dive into, I think it's called the Glow, nexionpulse.com. Glow, they've got a Glow lending protocol. So I think 2 of their team members are going to join me tomorrow, and they're going to show me what that's all about. And then on Sunday, we've got a weekly live stream, or sometimes it's bi-weekly, the Fat Luck Forecast, where we're going to cover the main markets, the geopolitical trends, economic trends, and obviously some pulse chain. So stay tuned for that, and I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us today in the YouTube comments. Sorry we didn't bring them up. We just kind of wanted to keep this one on point for anyone that's new to the idea of farming. We weren't ignoring you, so thank you very much for sharing and commenting. And you can really help out the chain and help out these wonderful devs and these leaders and the people who work their ass off by dropping a comment or a like on this stream, because Pulse Chain really does rely on that user interaction. We're quite proud of being quite a loud community. So please support us with your loudness. All right, guys. That about does it.
Sam, we appreciate the invite, man. Thanks for hosting us. It's been the time, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries. It's good to do.
Awesome,
If you guys don't mind just hanging around for a minute in the end of the stream, because it just likes it. It's better if everyone's upload finishes. All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks, guys. Yep.
Bye.
Woo, witnessing greatness.